Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hunter. Welcome back to Baseball Head 2, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So the White Sox and many other teams are going to be looking to trade, make trades, bring in some players, get rid of some players, and let's get into this report from USA Today. This is from MLB trade rumors, believe it or not. White Sox explored extension of Garrett Chrochet, aiming for deadline trade. As the White Sox look to sell at the trade deadline, the team is reportedly open to discussing pretty much everyone on the roster, ranging from the short-term veterans to more controllable players like Garrett Chrochet. However, the White Sox also recently had some talks with Chrochet and his representatives at CAA Sports about a contract extension. According to USA Today's Bob Nightingale, these negotiations were brief at the time, and the team has no optimism towards reaching an agreement. And thus, Nightingale writes that the White Sox are now indeed planning to move Chrochet at the deadline, even though he's still under arbitration control through the 2026 season. Chrochet is on the hill against the Rockies on Sunday. I don't have the results here. The Southpaw has a 3.05 ERA over 94 and a third innings, with a league best 130 strikeouts. Wow. The ability to miss bats has been paired with limited free passes. Crochet's 5.4% walk rate is a key stat given how he had dealt with some control issues in his young career. Crochet's cutter and his 96-mile-per-hour fastball are both among the deadliest pitches in the league, leaving batters fooled unless they can capitalize his below-average slider. Kind of production isn't exactly a surprise given that Chrochet was the 11th overall pick in the 20 draft and was seen as an advanced enough prospect that he made his debut that very season, tossing 6 innings over 5 appearances. Chicago further eased him into the majors in 21, but used him as a reliever, and Chrochet delivered a 2.82 ERA. However, the injury concerns that surround Chrochet struck in 22 as the Tommy John surgery cost him the entirety of last season and limited him to 12 2/3 frames in 2023. Though it is quite rare to see mid-season extensions actually finalized, it is common practice for clubs to at least broach the idea of a longer-term deal with potential trade candidates. After all, if a player had enough value to draw trade attention from multiple rival teams, that same player can provide value to his own team, so there's no harm in the club seeing if any common ground can be found on a multi-year contract. The logic even extends to a team like the White Sox, who are a lot closer to full-on fire sale than they are contending in the near future. Chrochet only just turned 25 this month and has been so impressive in his first season as a starting pitcher that he looks like he could be a frontline rotation staple. Even if the Sox might internally acknowledge that it'll take a few years to fully right the ship, Chrochet is still young enough that it's possible to see him as the ace of the next contending White Sox club, as long as he isn't traded, of course. Interestingly, Nightingale floats the idea that a long-term contract might also factor into Crochet's trade situation, as Chrochet and his representatives might quickly seek out an extension with a new team. Since he has already thrown more innings in 24 than he did in the rest of his pro career combined, Nightingale suggests that Chrochet might seek out some extra financial security to mitigate the extra risk if a new team asks him to put a lot more innings on his arm over the course of the regular season and potentially into postseason. In terms of how the White Sox themselves intend to manage Chrochet, Nightingale writes that the club and Chrochet already have a firm plan in place to greatly limit his workload. The description runs somewhat counter to the argument, to the looser arrangement, Sox manager Pedro Grifol described to the Associated Press and other reporters earlier this week. A team that acquired Chrochet would surely have these same innings management concerns in mind, which adds another wrinkle to this trade market. Could a team with some rotation depth problems, but with a fairly stable top 2 or top 3, use Chrochet as a starter to ensure they reach the playoffs and then use Chrochet as a reliever in postseason? Could a team multiple decent starters but not a decent cut ace perhaps insert Chrochet as part of a 6-man rotation in order to try and keep him fresh for the playoffs? Or could a team that is also borderline contender this season acquire Chrochet and stick to Chicago's plan perhaps more to an eye toward a full-fledged run of contention in 2025. Next up in this video, the Philadelphia Phillies. This is from SI.com. Philadelphia Phillies linked to new outfielder trade and deal with the Diamondbacks. Another intriguing outfielder has been linked to the Phillies and suggested trade with Arizona. Let's see what this article has to say. Like talking about these articles, get your thoughts on it. The Phillies are still the best team in baseball from a record standpoint with a 54-28 record. However, they are facing what could be a very difficult 2 weeks due to some major, and the heart means terrible, injury issues they have run into. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Spencer Turnbull were all placed on the injured list recently. Thankfully, the injuries aren't serious, but they'll all miss some time. Oh, get the small violins out for the Phillies. I feel so bad when the Phillies get hurt. You won't find this anywhere else. You won't find this on any other YouTube channel where the host goofs on the players and the teams. You'll get that here. Let's be honest. I'll be honest. Being able to stay afloat with a challenge for the Phillies. They'll get their star power back soon, but they need to figure out how to win games without quite a few key players. Just a few important players. Over the next couple of weeks, trade rumors are going to start heating up even more. The Phillies have been linked heavily in rumors for many different targets. Most of those rumors have had to do with them acquiring help in the outfield. Now, a new contender has been suggested as a possible trade target for the Phillies. That name is Arizona Diamondbacks outfielder and DH Joc Pederson. Interesting. FanSided recently suggested a potential deal between the Phillies and the Diamondbacks involving Pederson. In their trade proposal, the Phillies would acquire Pederson in exchange for Carlos De La Cruz and Caleb Ricketts. Both young players are expected to make their MLB debuts in the next couple of years, and they're both top 20 in the Philadelphia farm system. Looking closer at Pederson, he could be a perfect addition for the Phillies if they were able to bring him in. Well, they haven't made that deal yet, that's for sure. Pederson has played in 69 games so far this season, hitting .282 with .497 slugging percentage, .378 on base, 10 homers and 34 RBIs. He's been consistent and productive all year long. The Philadelphia Phillies don't necessarily need to shoot for star power. The team has plenty of that. What they need is consistent production, a player who can step in and make a major impact when called upon. That is a role that Pederson could thrive in. He has had the 2024 season and a mutual decision about the 25 season left on his contract. He could end up being back next season as well if things go according to plan. Well, things don't always go according to the plan. All of that being said, Pederson is just the latest in a long line of potential outfield trade targets. Other names on the list are Luis Robert Jr., Ian Happ, Harrison Bader, and many more. It'll be interesting to see what the Phillies do ahead of the deadline. Pederson could be a name to keep an eye on, And although there's really no telling at this point who Philly will pursue in the outfield. Then why do the article? You basically said Pederson was going to be the guy they were going to pursue. And finally in this video, we're going to talk about the San Diego Padres. They are 4 games over 500 at 46-42. Played rather well. This is from Inside the Padres from SI.com. Padres notes trade rumors, surprising stats, power ranking ascent. This was done the other day, so a little behind some of the information, but they're 46-42. That's the most important thing you need to know. The Padres then played Thursday and will open a 3-game series in Boston against the Red Sox beginning Friday. Catch up on all the headlines you might have missed. Padres linked to starting pitcher, division rivals, potential trade fit. As the trade deadline approaches on July 30th, and they screwed this up, they were July 20th, the Padres are reportedly eyeing Colorado Rockies pitcher Cal Quantrill. Being with the same National League West Division adds an interesting layer to the possible acquisition, which could work as a change of scenery for the former Padres first-round draft pick. The Padres lead MLB in surprise and offensive category, emphasizing agility over power. The Padres have excelled in making the most of bunts, leading MLB in turning these into base hits. This stat reveals an unheralded aspect of the Padres' collective offensive skill set. That's interesting. I mean, obviously with Arias there, their offense has changed quite a bit. It's more balanced. The trade deadline on the horizon, the Padres' need for another starter are growing. The speculation about targeting an all-star pitcher to fortify the team's roster for the second half of the season. Let's see. Recovering from a previous dip, the Padres have surged up the national power rankings thanks to a successful streak of wins, enhancing their prospects for a wildcard spot this season. White Sox are scouting the Padres. If you're a big Padres fan, just so you know, they could be doing another blockbuster trade in the coming weeks. The White Sox have shown interest in the Padres by sending scouts to analyze potential trade targets within the organization. Big moves could be on the horizon. The July 30th trade deadline approach. Obviously, they made that big deal before the season for Dylan Cease, and that's been paid in quite a few dividends for them over the last, really for the first half of the season. He's pitched rather well since he's gone there, and it seems that the Padres are very happy with him, and they played really well. I mean, considering where they've been and where they're going, in very good shape. So they have a very good shot at this thing. So you let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about the White Sox, what you mentioned earlier in this video, the Phillies, and of course the Padres. So thank you for watching, and have a good day, and I'll see you later.